Dude, you guys are waiting for? You guys work here to do. Look at the rain.
So thank you, folks. It's day number 6 on camera, and we are still following the Ministry of Public Works demolition exercise along the District 17 corridor. As you may be aware, District 17 is the district that is big in size, while District number 4 in Maserati County is the most populated district in the Republic of Liberia. So we are here today again, somewhere just a stone throw away from the Poor River area, or if you may refer to this place as the Poor River community, where the Ministry of Public Works continue their demolition exercise and have reached as far as this point. But then what will happen now is the Ministry of Public Works, since the fact they started from the left side of the corridor coming from the Douala area, they will now begin on the right side. That is, if you are coming from Douala. But if you are coming from Bomi, then they are about to begin on the left side, while the right side has already been completed. So I'm here with my colleague Aaron Talu, and jointly we're going to take you through so that you can get an understanding about the level of work that is being carried out by the Ministry of Public Works in District number 17, Maserati County. Aaron, I want to say good evening or good afternoon and welcome to LMTV.
Thank you. It's good to be back in District number 17. Today marked exactly 7 days since the Ministry of Public Works commenced their demolition exercise from Cloudtown. Now we are in District number 17 in Maserati County. It has been good. The residents have been very receptive. The atmosphere has been very peaceful, and it's good to be here. Looking at the environment, I can see residents are jubilating. It's good.
And so, folks, it's been raining here since we arrived, but good for us is that the rain has given a little bit of space for us to do this broadcast here. So we're going to take you through just very briefly, because we will have to chase the machine on the left side of this corridor to give you an understanding about how this particular road project, the demolition exercise, is ongoing. But there is a very interesting lady in the back there. If you would take a critical look at her, for her property was not touched by the Ministry of Public Works. So for nearly an hour, she's been standing over there celebrating in anticipation that the machine or the public works folks would have moved in to demolish her property. So if you don't mind, we would just like to talk to her very briefly before we carry you through. And it's a very interesting scene. But yes, yeah, you see, these are some of the structures that were demolished. And this is a huge tax being carried out by the Ministry of Public Works, and it's on a daily basis. But for us, we are stepping. Once we are not here, they go. No, she might talk to us, and you been sitting in the rain for almost 1 hour and celebrating. You say, oh, the machine not touch my area, so just talk to us more. We can come away here, and then you just go like that. I'm begging you. you must be happy and tell God thank you that the other people property, they break their houses down, but for you, yeah. I see you in the rain, happy.
Start break it down.
Okay, you start breaking down.
Yes.
Why is that breaking down? The machine?
I went to the office. They come and mark my place. And I went to the office. I asked them for extended time. They said no.
Okay.
It was on Monday the 15th. They were supposed to come, but many people went in the office and asked for time. So this was the time. The whole Poor River, they hated my husband.
Oh.
We don't know why. Today it was not. It is a great day for me today. I'm very, very happy because they said they were going to clear our house today. But I'm very great. I tell my sister if she hear me today, this is Musu Sware. She called me Musu Rogers.
Okay.
She is the one I'm talking today. So I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy. I just want to be happy. I'm grateful, Joseph Boakai, and thank you. I tell you, thank you plenty. Because in my era, I'll never go.
Even though they entered your area, but you come in, you come in see real road passing in from your house.
I'm very happy to see the real road because I want to.
Yeah, but your experience, you know, on the road, since in fact the road been like you know, the road was bad, you know, now with the coming of new.
As for me, I can go in town every day. When I'm going, the road is very bad. The road is, sometimes the keke almost can make accident with us. But now if President Boakai is trying to do his best, we are grateful. We tell him thank you.
What message you get for other people who can wait until the machine come before they want to move the zinc or to move some of their properties?
I'm very sorry. They shouldn't wait for the last minute to time. When they mark your place where to stop, please, I beg, all those who have never done it, you should done it because the machine will not come to you. If you do it to yourself, the machine will not come to you. But if you leave sitting at last minute to time, the machine will come to you.
You say your name again?
Suswari.
Thank you very much. I see your clothes wet. You've been in the rain, rejoicing.
Yeah.
But let's see if we can talk to our dad here again. You happen to be Imam here, right?
Yeah. I'm Imam Usman Soare.
Okay. Which mosque?
For the yellow mosque.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a large mosque.
Okay.
That mosque is built by Arab people, Saudi Arabia. And they appoint me there as Imam. Okay. But most of people hate me here.
But why?
Because why the goodness I can do to old people other time. I don't know my son, but God know what we're doing. The Quran say in Allah Alimu Hakimu. God, He say God know the truth. He be with the good people. Wakunu master the king. They say be with good people there and the learning people. I don't have nobody that hates me here. So when the young man come, mark my house, he say call you Imam. He say check all your place here. We do it. I call my children. I get to teach them. They shape the whole area, but still they threat me. Break it down. How they move from here?
So people here were happy. They say they would demolish her.
Yeah, they said demolish her, and they told what government said to do. I feel it do it. Me and my children. Nobody challenge government. We pray God Almighty allow this place here to improve. My grandma come from this country. Okay. It went to Freetown, marry, he born us there, and I taught children more than 12 years before I went to Saudi Arabia. I have degree, master degree. The Arab people came, they beat them all, they put me there, not do bad to nobody. When the cow come, they say some of them are not giving cow, they give me cow for them all. That whole thing, they were happy, they threatened my wife, they will come and bust your houses, and Almighty is see what we do. Today, they don't, even the machine not reach here, we do what government said to do. Inshallah, you children, God will bless you. God will give you a long life, God bless your children. Me, I still serving my God by true way. You see, God see what we're doing. In Allah Yara, saying, God see everything we do.
Let's talk about the road. You know, the road has been bad, you know, over the years.
Been bad. Even sometimes, the time my children, nobody move from here to go for Freetown, it can take you 2-3 days. But not today, government have plan to make the road. You can move from here, you go Freetown, you come back. That is the one priority where we all here are citizens of Monrovia, then we should support. They say if you want to be a good citizen, you must support the government on the day. Go out the government and all your children. God will bless you. And God will make you get the opportunity to go through this road project. Those who are against, they are against it themselves. But nobody carry government.
Say your name again?
My name, Imam Usman Soare.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you to my children. God bless you.
Okay. So, folks, very interesting scene here, but let's now make our way to where some of the structures were actually demolished by the zoning division of the Ministry of Public Works here in the Poor River community. And you want to pan the camera where this place was actually close to the main road area, because if you see some of the structures behind the demolition area, you want to believe that why would people come very close to the road to have their structure being erected?
Again, this is Liberia. People love to take advantage of situation. People were thinking that this road will not be paved. I believe that those houses that were demolished today have been marked years back. But again, there's no enough time for Liberian to do anything.
Always crying for time.
Yes, people were waiting to see the machine. And the machine came today. You saw what happened. And thankfully, citizens are in jubilant mood. Since the whole process began, I have not seen any agitation from any citizen. It has been so peaceful. In fact, citizens are embracing development, and people want to see this road paved, in a way that when you are moving, the issue of traffic congestion will be in the past. So I think this is laudable. Like you heard from them, these are other people who are lauding government for the developmental initiative that are currently taking place. Yes, I think all well-meaning Liberians who are patriotic, they should also hail national government for such an initiative being undertaken.
And her story was a very interesting one, that she had moved in to the Ministry of Public Works, and she was actually told that, well, by the 15th of September, we would have begun the process of demolishing structures. So she asked for them to actually give her an understanding about where exactly on her property should be cut off, and she was told the exact area, and she went ahead, demolishing the particular portion of her property. And today the Ministry of Public Works team moved in, and then it was like, well, okay, you went by the instruction we gave you, so we have no reason of touching your building.
Yes, at times it is better to do it by yourself than the machine. When the machine moves in, no time again for you to take your belonging. But if you are doing it as a property owner, you will take your time. You know exactly where to cut and how to do it. But for the machine, there's no time. They have a lot of work to do, like from the simple bridge to where
I just want us to come in front here so you can see. There is a store behind here that some of the structures that were actually here was actually preventing a clearer view of this store. And now today, with the clearing of some of the buildings here, now you can have a very clear view of the property behind here.
Yeah, so these are people who know exactly where the building are stored and the road. There's a specific feet that one should have before building any property if you want to build along the road. So I believe this particular person who built the store here may have engineer, and they took advice from the engineer. Engineer told them, if you want to build a store here, you need maybe a 50 or 100 feet before the road. So that's why it happened here.
In recent time, I listened to the zoning division of the Ministry of Public Works encouraging people that once you harbor the ambition of building your structure, or if you may your property, it is only safe enough to move into the Ministry of Public Works, meet the zoning division, ask them, if possible, you come in contact with some of the engineers so that they can go on the site and tell you, well, from this point to this point, in 10 or 15, 20 years, you will still be safe, so you can erect your structure from this angle. Go around. I think this is one of the best steps that Liberians should begin thinking about.
Yes, Liberia as a country, we have been making a lot of mistakes when it comes to construction. I think you are aware that in this country, how many of us who want to build will go to the Ministry of Public Works to hire engineer to come and tell you this is how you need to build your house, and to even give you the plan. Broadville is a township. We have township here. So if you want to erect any building here, you need to move to the township commissioner. So the commissioner will send you to the zoning division, and the zoning division will take a survey to where you want to construct a property. Reason is maybe it should be an alley area. So if you build property here in 10-15 years to come, if government want to build a particular wall, what happened to your building? It will already be demolished. So to avoid all of that, before you construct, you need to move to wherever you are. You need to move to the Ministry of Public Works to have the zoning division informed that I want to erect a building. They will send a team along with you to know exactly where you want to build if that place is not in the alley. So I think this person did a very good job for themselves.
So they did a very good job for themselves, and that's Aaron Talu. But from this point, will now begin on the left lane of this highway. So they started from the right lane from all the way Simple River, and they have managed to clear this entire red portion of the road. So they are now crossing over to the left lane where they will start the demolition exercise and will move till they reach the Simple River Bridge. So we are doing a bit up from this point, and then we will catch up with the machine ahead of us, where we will actually bring you live coverage again of some of the demolition exercise that are ongoing along our route. So let's move gradually and see if we can try to bring this to a closure. But then partially we will still move in as soon as we get caught up with the works machine. So all year were buildings owned by people, and they were actually demolished.
Yes, and again, if you look at those structures that were demolished, they were not structures that belongs along the road. This is the face of Liberia. If you come from Sierra Leone, after you leave from Clay, you pass the Po River, you are in district number 17, you are already in Mosorado County. So if you have structures that are not presentable along the road, come and think about it.
Let's even forget about the issue of the structure being presentable. Once you build in the right of way, whether it can be $1 million project, you will have it to be removed by the Ministry of Public Works, because this is just an individual personal investment, and you are talking about the entire country to benefit from a major highway that Liberians have yearned for over the years.
And again, people feel that when you build along the road, when government ready to construct, government will compensate you.
That has been the old age issue, but this is not happening from what I'm seeing now.
That is one aspect that people love to build along the road, and even on the alley. You know, people say, okay, when government ready to come build, send my horse here, they will give me some money. And that is the notion that many people carry.
The last time we visited Lofa, I saw people, you know, because of the Banga to Menikoma Road, I saw people even erecting new structure along that route, with the anticipation that once the project is started, the government will move in to start compensating them for, you know, some of the properties.
People always want to benefit from situation. So likewise, people want to build so that if you want to pave, you get them some money. If you don't do so, they will complain. So similar thing in Plaza, people, I believe that before this building, they were informed that in time to come, government may like to improve on this particular road, because this is an international road. But again, they refuse to listen. Now the realities came and they have been faced with. Thankfully, it has been accepted by them.
And between you and I, we've been here in Monrovia, and we have seen where in past time, folks will have their property marked by the Ministry of Public Works, even the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, and then that mark will remain there for years upon years, and you will not have a single mark on that building. So all the time, people are live with that, in anticipation that, well, government will not move in and mark your property. At the end of the day, they will never come to actually demolish or to continue with their work.
Yeah, so if that happened yesterday, it can still happen in the future. So if yesterday past government and the people from the Ministry of Public Works mark building and they refuse to go and demolish that particular building, maybe to build a road or to pave a road. If you have next government coming, the next government may want to improve on road. So since the foreign government didn't do it, the other government can do it. So you can't say, oh, because this government didn't do it, I mean the next government will not do it. No, the next government will do it. So whenever the Ministry of Public Works marks your property, you need to move as quick as possible. If you have important belonging there, I mean, you can take it away. That we witnessed around the Simple Bridge, people who property were marked, people who have stores along the road, they took off the zinc, they took all their important material, and when the machine came, I mean, they were there. The only thing they were fighting for is maybe to get steel and other belongings that were there. The important ones were taken out before even the machine could arrive. So similar thing applies here.
Similar thing applies to the Poor River area. Yes, I'm a living testimony of some of the works that were actually done by the residents themselves around the Brewerville, the Iron Gate, the Simple River Bridge community, where residents of those communities de-roofing some of their facilities, and that was actually a very good job, making it very easy for the Ministry of Public Works team to move in and demolish some of the buildings. So as the team anticipation that folks from the left lane where majority of their properties were de-roofed, so the machine just moved in and demolish the concrete structure of their properties.
Yeah, so we hope that those who are on the other side, as the Ministry of Public Works that marks their property some months back, they have to muster the courage. You know, I think the thing is, it is difficult to build a house, and to see the Ministry of Public Works coming one early morning and marking your property, telling you you have to leave this property because it's in a right of way, we are about to pave road. I mean, humanly speaking, it is difficult. But again, you have to muster the courage, because every time we talk about development, people who are left Liberia and travel in other African countries and even America, when they come back, even when they call on radio, you hear them saying, Liberia not developed, see the road I left Liberia, and when 10-15 years I came back, the road still the same. In fact, my same road, I used to go to my house, I been away 10-15 years, I come, I board a car and then went straight to my house. You know, to change all of that, you need to endure the pain. And these are some of the things, demolishing your property along the right of way. Yeah, these are some of the things that you have to go through to develop the country. We want to see better Liberia. And the only way better Liberia can come is to endure the pain. Like, for example, as an individual, maybe you want to make your life better, you need to, minimize your spending and save. So similar thing happening with the pavement of this road.
Assuming if we had the time to have educated Liberians over the years about staying off the right of way in terms of erecting structures, then we wouldn't have the time, the luxury of time to be demolishing. Because if you want to imagine the resources that is being spent just for the Ministry of Public Works to have team to move in every single day to demolish properties at various spots, that would have been saved for additional stuff. Because the time we taken today to come here to go live about the Ministry of Public Works demolishing structures, properties along this route, that time would have been used for different work, maybe talking about the erection of drainage system all around the place, or even trying to de-ground the asphalt pavement.
Again, it is there. The Ministry of Public Works have been in existence for years upon years. So I believe the zoning department have been there. They left with those who are constructing. Before you construct, the law says, move to the Ministry of Public Works, ask for the zoning department, go there, tell them, say, I'm about to erect a property. I mean, they will move in with you to tell you exactly. No, even people who are engineers do soil testing even before constructing buildings. How many of us do that in Liberia? Before constructing, we don't do soil testing. We don't even find engineer. You just find one man, or maybe your community, the person can build. You just gonna start building your house. So where you building your house, do you know that maybe that place could be an alley? You don't know. Maybe in the future, the government might need that particular place. You know, maybe to build light poles, they want to electrify. These are things that you need to take into consideration whenever you are building. So the department is there. The awareness have been going on. But we as a citizen, we need to take it, we need to move in so that the law is made in a way that ignorant to the law,
there's no exception.
No excuse and no exception. So the law is there. So before you erect, you need to move to the Ministry of Public Works. They will direct you, build your property here. So in the Ministry of Public Works, when they direct you, then after a few years, when they want to come back to demolish your property, now it becomes a good case for you. But until then, you have to do the needful.
So there are some folks who might be wondering, why is it necessary that the Liberia National Television is coming live every time with this broadcast? It's meant for you who might just be thinking of doing similar thing, for you to see for yourself that yes, one day, once I'm caught in the web, my property is going to be demolished by the Ministry of Public Works. This is a glaring reality. So it's necessary that you yourself can see some of the structures where they were positioned, the distance, the quality, and you know, the durability of their properties. And then if you can see their properties are being demolished by the Ministry of Public Works, now it's up to you to decide where and how you are going to do yours, Aaron.
Yeah, exactly. So normally people say when you see the dry leaf falling, it's a warning to the raw one. So if you want to build a house,
so you almost like James Tobo now, you want to be Pyro King.
So if you want to build a house, and if you want to build along the road, you need to hire one engineer. Or if you don't have, you know, the fan house, you got to move to the Ministry of Public Works. And just ask
for the zoning division.
Yeah, for the zoning division. You just ask, they will come and help you to zoom where you want to build a house to stop and feature embarrassment. And the next thing is you also want to build a house. You also have to move to the EPA. The EPA will also advise you when it comes to the soil quality and when it comes to the mangrove. Know fully well that the mangrove is intended to absorb water that comes from the upland. So if you build house also in the mangrove, what happens? The marine species will also get, be damaged. So to avoid all of that, before you build, you have to go to the EPA, you go to the Ministry of Public Works.
And you also go to the Liberia Land Authority as well.
Very well.
Legitimize your property.
Yeah, and you don't want to build a hole like what happened to Fennel. There are people who every day cry for land, a criminal conveyance or land is everywhere. So to avoid all of that, before you build a house, that's why it is not good to rush and build a house. You need to make sure to do all your fact finding, go to the EPA, go to the Ministry of Public Works, go to the Land Authority. Make sure you do the right thing so that because house, land will not depreciate. Land always appreciate. Let's take for example, if you have land right now, when the road should have been paved, your land will appreciate, will never depreciate, right? So to acquire land, you have to do a whole lot. To even build, you got to do a whole lot.
I think Aaron could be a good consultant if you want to build your house. To just move into Aaron Talu, and then you will be given the necessary advice to actually move in. But yes, you see here folks trying to get some of the concrete debris, and it's always the case where you have people benefiting one way or the other as the Ministry of Public Works moves in and start with the demolition exercise at various points. You also see people who are also benefiting from this exercise. Like yesterday saw the less fortunate youth that we may refer to as Zogo, they are following the process and benefiting from some of the sterols, the dose, and what have you.
Yes, they are benefiting, also helping government. What happening now? After the demolition exercise, you see the truck to come and clear the remaining, to go and dump it one side. So when you have people taking steroids and people are taking breaks, they are also helping government. There are no free gift. Yeah, so while taking the remaining for self-benefit, they are also helping national government to clear the place for the pavement of this road.
So folks, like we said, the team is already ahead of us and they are on the left lane where they have already started demolishing some of the structures, but they started from this angle, that is the right angle if you are coming from Bombay. But if you are coming from the Simporewa Bridge community, then they actually started from the left and they will now be on the right. But if you are positioned in Porewa like myself, they have already completed the right portion and they will now go to the left. So we'll bring this broadcast to a closure and then we'll chase the team ahead to give you another scene of the demolition exercise. But from Porewa, it has been Aaron Talu, Damo Afufana, and Ayesin Iba. Till we meet you to the next location, keep following LMTV, and very shortly we will join you. But here we are, right in front of the Race Institute Bilbo. Race Institute, as you may know, was established in 1887. It's one of the oldest learning institutions in Liberia, specifically Mosturalo County, if you may. So we are just in front of the Race Institute signpost. But then, this is not the issue, but the Ministry of Public Works is continuing their demolition exercise. And a few minutes ago, we were around the Poor River area. So we will just move in to give you a clearer look of what is happening here. And you see some of the folks who are waiting for the last minute to de-roof their structures. So it's always the case where you have folks waiting for the dying minute to de-roof their facility. But we're moving quickly where the machine is actually demolishing some of the structures that were marked here, and this is one. So this structure was actually marked by the Ministry of Public Works. So the machine is now moving in to make sure that, well, this building can be demolished completely. And this is supposed to be a gas station or a filling station, that is. It seems like the folks here were actually in the process of removing storage tank beneath the ground, but I'm told that the gas here were actually removed from the storage tank area.
Yeah, certainly they were in the process, but again, time had cut off for them. They were in the process again, time had cut off with them, and the machine is here. And the interesting thing is that it is female who is currently operating the machine. That's the most interesting part, and she has been very proactive. I see time pass such a work when the men were involved with it, but as of now, since the whole gender equality stuff in anything men do it, you see job that men used to do before. I mean, they have been very competitive with women. So it's tough. It is knowledgeable. I mean, see her operating. This is my second time to see this operating. This bicycle machine and very accident. Very fast and swift. And it is good. Female need to take advantage of such an opportunity and to operate such a machine. Whenever female operates such a machine, when you operate, people will look at you as a female and sympathize with you, and the stigma will not be there. You always need to be around to do more.
I think that should be the issue of sympathy, but it should be about capability. We are at the Liberia Broadcasting System. We are Amount She's multitasking. Some days she's on camera, and another day she's behind the camera. Yeah, Yasa Suba, Masami Konen, Pastor Talu, and you have the list on ended. So this is a noble venture where women are rising to the occasion to say yes, we can do it as same as our male counterpart. This is a laudable one, and this is why sometimes we highlight the issue of women operating a heavy duty machine and doing other jobs that were perceived to be for their male counterpart.
Yes, certainly gender equality is actually switching things around. Before there were jobs, people would say this particular job it belongs to only a male can do this one. But right now, all jobs are available for both gender, female and male. Once you are qualified and have the requisite credential and you are competent, you can go ahead and do it. So we are seeing a very clear pictorial display right here, female operating the machine. That's a laudable one.
And this is how you have a developed nation and people. Once the space is given to everyone to showcase their God-given talents, I think it is laudable. And yes, this is what you get when the country and people yearn for development over the years, and others having their properties erected in the right of way.
This one looks like a very old structure. Yes, it's actually old. In my mind, I don't think people were living in this particular structure, so I think it was just built for commercial purpose. And you can see for yourself, you can see the orgy on the wall. It's a very old structure, so the ministry have no option since they were marked. They were given prior notice, knowing fully well that road construction is about to take place. I mean, it needs to be demolished to give our country a very beautiful, visibility when you are entering Liberia. Mind you, when we were celebrating our 170th independence, you have the Salvadorian president flying this particular road. He came by road.
He drove all the way from Freetown to Monrovia.
Yeah, he drove from Freetown to Monrovia. And from both waterside of Freetown, you see something else. And from both waterside coming Liberia, you see something else. So with the pavement of this road, I think when you leave for Sierra Leone, come to Liberia, you'll know that indeed Liberia is one of the oldest republics in Africa.
And folks here might have been informed that this day would have come. So if you look at such a building, been here for almost 4 to 5 years, if you may, without any improvement on it, it will just tell you that, well, they were actually in the know that, well, this building will be demolished, and so do not carry out any work moving forward and just leave it as it is, because one day the Ministry of Public Works will move in to have it demolished.
Yes, whenever you are constructing, those who normally construct along the road, they have that conscience that one day, even though there's no pavement of road right now, but one day the government will come out to pave this particular road. So similar thing in place here, since the construction were going on, I believe that notice were given to them by other national government of the township of Broadview. So they thought it was just to leave it like this and maybe just sell that gas at the end of the day when the Ministry of Public Works shall have getting ready. Nothing more, nothing less to kind of demolish and allow development to take place.
So for you just joining this broadcast, we are somewhere around the Risk Institute Junction, where the team from the Ministry of Public Works is now on the left portion. That is, if you are coming from Bomi, they are on the left portion after they completed the rest side of the corridor, and they are now on the left portion. And we've been told that it's going to take about 4 days to complete the entire left portion of this corridor to reach to the St. Paul River Bridge area.
Yes, they are working with time. They are working with time, and they know exactly where to go. And the issue of turning, I think, is very important. They know exactly where to stop. They know exactly where to stop, when to stop, and when to commence. I mean, it is because, mind you now, this road will be paved by the Japanese. This is in continuation of the Japan freeway, but this time around it will begin from the Johnson Street to the Paul River Bridge. Paul River is the river that separates Motorado from Bomi County.
Yes, so Paul River separates. On our trouble, it's been brought down. Just to tell you that this is a collective effort being carried out by the Ministry of Public Works, irrespective of who, where, and how, paving the way for development in Liberia. But we are anticipating to speak, to have a brief conversation with the zoning director of the Ministry of Public Works, who have already hinted us that today will be the climax point from this angle, from the Risk Institute Junction. But we want to get a word through that concerns coming up from the public. So we want to engage with you on this subject matter. And this is the Risk Institute sample. Samples is down. Established 1887, one of the oldest institutions in the Republic of Liberia. Risk Institute samples has been brought down to the ground, but we are anticipating to climax So let's see if we can bring this broadcast to a closure. Everyone will come here and see if we can speak very briefly with the zoning director at the Ministry of Public Works, since the left portion of this corridor have already been completed. Now we are left with the right corridor, that is if you are coming from Central Town, but if you are coming from Bomi, then they are on the left corridor. We want to say welcome to LNTV.
Thank you very much.
For the public, you care to introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Sylvester Nkoro. I'm the supervisor of the project from St. Paul Bridge Corridor to Paul River Corridor. And as you can see today, we reached to Paul River and our back is turned. Now we are facing the St. Paul Bridge end, moving to a wall Broadway, and here we are at Rick's Junction.
You care to tell us how many days are we left with to climax this entire corridor from here, Rick's Institute Junction, to the St. Paul River River Bridge?
Okay, so the work for, the days for the work is about 10 days, and we are left with 3 days. And I can assure you that within the next 3 days, we'll complete the project.
This is a very hectic task, wherein some of the folks that have been given prior notice, we actually sit and wait for the coming of the machine. See some folks who will beg you on the day of the machine arrival.
Okay, so like you put it, our work will be easy for the left side because many of the people with alone the right side have demolishing their own structure by themselves. So as soon as we get to the place, we will get this done and we just pass through. But at least but from the beginning, it was kind of a hectic as compared to what we are doing now.
Some folks are actually alleging that you are being selective in terms of some of the structures that you demolish. You're leaving some and demolishing some. They have anticipated that some of the structures could have been brought to the ground. But why are you leaving some behind?
Okay, so you see us, our target is 50. So that, for example, if we're going to 50 and you see your structures and maybe 10 feet of your structure is in the right of way, and maybe you have 12 feet, you have 10 feet, so we have no option to remove the banner 2 feet. So you see sometimes we will go beyond the 50 because of the makeshift structure. And sometimes you see on other building, you see one pole that we need to demolish, and as soon as you demolish the one pole, you get it building down. So we are discretional in doing some of our work.
Key among the many is the property of Mr. Onyama. They say you didn't touch his property.
Where is Onyama property?
Somewhere around the St. Paul Bridge area.
I don't know Onyama property. So except the person can show it and go to the ministry and tell how many feet we're supposed to do, and I will not touch it, then maybe it can be an issue. But I don't know Onyama property. I don't know anybody in the corridor.
This is a very tedious job. And looking at you, when you wake up in the morning, what gave you the courage every morning to come and execute this job?
Okay, so the first thing that I thought on is our country is 178 years, and we, as a citizen, still thinking about developing our country. So I had this view that I think the development will start with us.
On the whole, you might prove me wrong. That is, if you want to. From what I've seen over the past days, some of the folks along the left corridor actually de-roof some of their structures and making it easier for you, the public work, to move in, unlike other places where you have people still having their roof on top of the building, and then you have to move in and demolish the entire thing. But what I've said so far on this corridor is that folks actually had the anticipation that you were actually moving in, so they de-roof some of their buildings.
So first of all, the first thing when we started the work, the feel that we're joking. So, but after 2 to 3 days, they noticed that the SSR will be executed. So many of them were waiting to de-roof the property.
What's the constraint you are working with men and women and looking at you? What's the constraint you are faced with when it comes to your workforce? Like you are supervisor.
It's the interaction. Somebody will just come and ask you, "You reaching to me today?" Can you imagine?
I'm not talking about those who have property along the road. I'm talking about
the constraint.
Yes.
Oh, well, everywhere have constraint, but what matters is the interest of the country.
What's the biggest challenge in doing this job?
The working.
You think we need to give you car to be you riding?
Yeah, be car to do it. So
you should be in the know that this is a working job.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be a challenge for you.
No, it's not a challenge. It's not a challenge.
Okay, we can find you a bicycle.
No, if you find me a bicycle, I would not do the work because I would not reach out to the people.
So it seems to be that you are doing indirect track and field.
Oh yeah. So maybe I will be one of the people I'll be choosing to move for Labrador to go for track and field to represent Labrador or Maritime. Okay, yeah, I'll wait for your recommendation.
Okay, so we'll catch you up tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Well, he's the supervisor of this entire corridor from the Paul River area, moving as far as the St. Paul River Bridge, and he's on the left lane of the Bomi Highway. And so we are bringing this broadcast to a closure, where the famous Rick's Institute signpost, established in 1887, right in front of the Rick's Junction, was actually brought down to the ground. And this is where the Ministry of Public Works team will end the work for today, and they will resume tomorrow as another team will join them in bringing live coverage of the demolition exercise. Mind you, they are left with 3 days. They were given 10 days from the St. Paul River Bridge to Paul River to demolish all of the structures along the corridors that were actually marked by the Ministry of Public Works. Aaron, finally, before we take leave of you.
Yes, thank you, and it's good to be part of this historical event. This is a history making. 40, 50 years from now, when this road shall have been paved, I will be telling my grandchildren, we were in the media when the government of Liberia, the Ministry of Public Works, carried on demolition exercise along the bombing highway to construct a 4-lane road from Johnson Street to Bowater side. So the picture of history will remember us for this job that we are doing.
And don't forget, he's also a good consultant in terms of testing your soil before erecting your structure. Well, folks, we want to bring this broadcast to a closure. My colleague Dama Fofana has been behind camera. We say thanks for watching. My name is Aishin Iba. Aaron Talu has been here. Thanks for watching, and it's bye-bye from mine.